Now, the prince's castle, the one in which the princess will live, should be the castle each of us most desires. The castle that most nearly approximates our own private visions of perfection. The princess is, in a sense, being taken to heaven. And heaven can only be a divine reward if it's the heaven that strikes each of us individually as a good place in which to spend eternity. I myself would be quite happy in my own heaven, but miserable in heaven of the surly, muttering man who spends his days on my corner holding out a cup for coins, or the heaven of the 5-year-old girl who lives next door. Send the princess, then, not to a traditional castle with its drafts and echoes, but to the castle in which you yourself would want to live. Some of us will prefer a cozy, fire-lit semi-darkness, with comfortable chairs and stacks of ancient leather-bound books and a wise, avuncular wizard. Some of us will want vast, whitewashed halls that open onto gardens in which children chase butterflies. Whichever palace we choose, however, the princess will live there forever. She's not moving on to a better place. There is no better place. She'll age there alongside her prince. She'll wither there. She'll grow sleepy and forgetful in that castle. She'll depend more and more on her handmaidens. And at some particular hour, she'll expire in one of its rooms. Do you think you know where the story is headed? It's not headed there. The prince and princess do not grow unhappy as time passes. They do not fall out of love. They don't have fights that terrify the servants, nor do they sink by slow degrees into a state of quiet, ongoing irritation that renders them unrecognizable to themselves. They do not find their children to be more burden than joy. They don't mind that their flesh is failing them. Their eyes don't start wandering toward the younger, fresher members of the court. In our story, the prince and princess do, in fact, live happily ever after. Their children charm and delight them. Their passion increases as they age. They continue, both of them, over the years, to wait eagerly for bedtime, when they can tell each other the stories of their days before coupling with a well-practiced exactitude that thrills them both. They feel, right up to the end, accompanied, heard, doubled, known, and cherished. There is, however, one thought that troubles the princess throughout her long and happy life. As much as she loves her days and nights and all that they contain, she finds herself missing the long-ago moment when the prince's lips touched hers and she woke from her long slumber. The moment the frog's skin burst open, fell away like a split glove, and gave rise to a young, ardent, sweet-smelling man. The effortless slipping of a tiny foot into a glass slipper. There was, in that moment, a thunderbolt of ecstatic revelation. She, who had been thought to be asleep forever, was not only resurrected, but as her eyes fluttered open, saw the face of the prince, who might as well have been an Annunciation angel, more beautiful, more magnificent than is technically possible for any creature to be. She who'd been pestered by a frog until she couldn't stand it any longer, who consented to kiss his amphibious lips just to get rid of him, found that she summoned the man of her dreams. She who resigned herself to a life of sweeping the hearth saw her life change suddenly, profoundly, and forever when her foot fit the shoe. The princess misses that moment the way she misses her parents. The princess lives happily, almost entirely happily, as most people manage to do when they live far away from their families. Well, well equipped, most of us, to tolerate loss. We have to be, because loss is part of life, and no one, not even a fairy tale princess, is immune. We recover, though not, of course, entirely. Losses may not be crippling, but they patina our happiness. They turn it from bright to burnished. The princess doesn't know what to make of her fits of nostalgia for that life-giving kiss, that frog transmogrified, the slipper that meant deliverance. She doesn't delve too deeply into it. She's more inclined to dance than she is to read. At parties, she's likelier to charm than she is to ask penetrating questions. But still, she carries, for all of her long life, a small seed of disappointment. She carries the sense that as wonderful as everything is, she once knew a moment of transcendence that will not, cannot be repeated. A moment when the world cracked open and offered her more than she'd hoped for, more than she thought was possible. She busies herself with her royal duties. She thinks about it as little as possible. Thank you.